Well, manga fans, sorry for that bit out of the way, I got lazy again. We're in chapter 26, 5 of Steel Ball Run. Oh, and since the next batch of episodes is 11 episodes, it's September, um, we'll probably be, I can go past this Game Monsters fight, which is total of 3 chapters. No, technically 4 chapters. I said it was 3 chapters, with the final part of it being having to battle. So, most of it might go up to episode. May go up to episode 9. May go up to this first half of episode 11. But the second half of that and a bit of the next chapter. I'm just guessing. I fucking know myself. If you've got a theory on what episodes with that, what chapter, let me know in the comments. This is a long chapter, I mean 65 pages. Again, at this point the series moved to Ultra Jump, so the page counts a lot longer. Anyway, wait this going. Show will start English translation of JoJo's sometime next year, 2027. But the translation will take longer. Most likely will end early 2028, and that's when we'll get children's translations. As you probably call up with the Japanese release in no time, if that's the case. And that's a if JoJolian starts English translation next year. Or maybe sometime later this year. That's an if. We don't know. Most likely we will start JoJolian once they're done with the Steel Ball Run translations. So look forward to me reading that when those chapters come out. I already read JoJolian, but my review on it wasn't really satisfying on the Steel Ball Run. I better re-review those mangas, better re-review them properly. So just better just re-review them. So yeah, those videos are not really that satisfying. That's why I want to re-review them properly pay attention this time. Because I didn't even pay attention to in the Silent Way fight. Also, that bastard uncle of mine's here. God damn it. Of course he shows up. I hate him. I so fucking hate him. Why on earth does he have to show up? He just has to show up to me. Go bother someone else. Bastard. Yeah, he's not like him, he's a thief. None of us like him. My mum just tolerates him. She says she's trying to get rid of him, but didn't see that happening. Of course, I was told why she doesn't get rid of him. Doesn't ban him in the house. That's because keep a good relationship with her mother. Yeah. That's stupid. Whether or not, she should not be defending a child's crimes. Like, he steals money. He's not a bank robber here, but he still steals off this. Sometimes. He bought 2 DVDs on me years ago and never gave them back. One was Iron Man 3. I confused me as a kid for some reason. Hey! Get my meaning. Just don't like him. It seems like he's psychic or something. I was told to lock the door, leave the door locked if he ever shows up. Of course, the day I decided to do that, you have to come with Nan. Yeah. Why do I call her Nan anyway? Sorry. We're on topic. And then looking for the Steel Ball Run anime. We still got a few characters not yet being voiced, so that's going to be appearing. Like the original user, Scary Monsters. or Pork by Hat Kid, who's basically antagonist for this multi-part chapter, this arc. Or Kumara. So, those characters are not yet going voices. Let's get to the side. So I was up with narration about discovering in the 12th century a map. A mysterious map brings away that was made and hidden by, this was discovered in England, but this was made by Joseph. And I talk about the Joseph, a religious way. Mary's husband. Yeah, Joseph. You know, people who took Jesus' body down from the cross. And yet, he basically spread Christianity for the entire world, and he spent the main of his years in England, somewhere across Britain. We actually founded one old Christian church. Where was Bethlehem? Like, what country was it saying? I didn't realize that. And I don't know, I never know that. I don't know. Is Bethlehem even real? Like, I don't want to. I'm not religious anyway, so. No one knows if God is real or not. But who written the Bible in the first place, though? How old is it? Also, it was in the AD era, even BC. No churches, anything existed like that. I think religion did exist back then. Before, maybe. Anyway, at the time, no one knows where the map led to. Because that would actually be America. Of course, outside this was Christopher Columbus never discovered America, so America went unknown for centuries. So that I just got a message from someone, I'm not gonna say who, asking me about if I remember about a show I watched when I was young. There's always Danny's looking. I haven't watched that show in years actually. Even you was 4 kids growing up. Trying to rewatch that but in Japanese. It's split into 2 halves technically. You say the series is split into 2 halves. Like the second half is more serialized in nature compared to the first half. And it's based on a video game. I played a bit of it actually, because I already seen the show. Oh, I used to have the cards, but I think I lost them years ago. There's even a manga adaptation, but I can't find any English translation. Can't find any way to read it. So with the Beast Saga, I can't find any way to read them, sadly. I want to get the Beast Saga manga review. Beast Saga, by the way. I learned that about recently from watching another episode on Core TV. It's a really good anime. It's sort of like a continuation of the Beast War series from Transformers. More of a spiritual successor. A toy from the 80s. It's pretty interesting on an anime adaptation, but it has a dub, yes. But it's something like Inazuma 11 with a dub from China. Hong Kong. Yeah, that's why I about jumping coming. I actually should do a whole thing about actors who work with 4 kids. But that might take a long time. There have been quite a few actors that work with 4 kids. Some remain unidentified. Sorry, I know I got off topic, but like, we never have 4 kids TV here. with a focus product distributed here, but not the actual network. I wonder why it was only exclusive to America. Maybe budget, as Focus only hired actors from New York, which they were based in. Animation does that too. So what other companies do actually hire actors local in the area the studio is. That's why Band Zero Entertainment goes for people from California, like John Young Bosch and Christina B. People who live in California. Funimation was based in Texas. Sorry, let's get back on topic. So we come back to present day, as the race is going on. One of the races, it also looks like Rudolph von Stroheim from part 2 is behind them. Stroheim's counterpart was already existed in the Ring universe, yes, but he was an adult in the 1930s. He would have been. I don't think he would have existed in the time period it existed in. This story takes place in 1890. Now, I think this takes place months after. Basically, that exact same year, an incident happened. A man named Louis Le Prince went missing after boarding a train back to France. I was boarding a train to head back to England. Not to New York, so yeah. They head to New York. He was the actual director of film. Like everything you see, like this whole me recording on YouTube and stuff was thanks to him, not Edison. Edison's not taking credit for other people's works. That's a whole thing. It's really sad. The guy would have been credited, but just disappeared the day he was gonna get his patent for the US. Sad, sad story. Anyway. So. After that. Oh God, no, not that. What do I talk about? I talk about the vegan teacher. Yeah, if you're online a few years back, last couple years, you know about her. Jesus Christ. I haven't heard about her in quite a while. Anyway, Joyce just spawned back a bit, since they've been through a lot in that fight in the previous battle. Especially wasting all the way to get to medical treatment. But JoJo's bucket, they're gonna show us anyone. Anyway, there's Turks. He actually is called Stroheim. But not Rudolph von Stroheim. He's... Shit, come on. Yeah, he's Stroheim's counterpart. Even he's in a cyborg too. German weapon science. I think German science was like that at the time. But yeah, slight struggle. Gyro easily managed to defeat him. Gyro wasn't know what the hell was going on. Why the hell were targeting him? They can't be over the race. Why is they want him? Gyro says he's just a guy. He's just trying to win a race for get a full pardon. That's all. And also, if you can't handle it, you can leave. John doesn't give up that easily. But then something weird happens. A hand pops out of his own. And there's a hole in it. Now I know. This will be get mentioned. And we couldn't even see his back before Johnny Johnny's going crazy and something. I don't know what the hell that was. He also it can't be a stand ability. I know it wasn't a hallucination either. What the hell's going on? That, my friend, will become important as the course of the series. Another part of Johnny's motivation. Not just letting him spin. So, alright, it seems to be my theory that those with the ability of Hamon, or something like it, have the ability to see stands, even though they're not stand users. Because stands seem to have some connection to it. Over part tied to the life force of the body. Over tied to your physical form, so powered by you. So they should have some similarities. So that's why theory is you can see stands. I don't know if Joseph can see stands prior to awakening one. But yeah. There we go. The Seaman's got the reports to him about many races went for the Devil's Palm with 68 or 69 casualties. One question about Joseph. Second question is if he found someone like a corpse, but I was confused. Asked if there's something he should know. All about I should know is that in corpses that their races make the stillborn race happen. So yeah, about understands of these. As we introduced to our main antagonist of the series. Currently, this is like he is chubby, but as the story goes on, he becomes jacked. Like, holy fucking shit. Guy's an iconic man. And I mentioned this in my previous video, but I don't know what his name yet. We're gonna wait for the reveal. Basically, this guy's the reason why Civil War happened in the first place. Is to correct those corpse parts. I think Gyro may have one. Gyro has one, but not sure if he's aware of it, aware of the power of it, or he just picked it up by accident. Still, or he's willing to kill them, as he says. It's his job. He wants those corpses are benefit for people, help anybody else. He'll do whatever it takes to acquire them. Seaman is complying and call him Mr. President. Make sure he's the President of the United States in that time. I don't know what that's quite weird to do since obviously the character's fictional and the real president was at the time. But the president at the time would have been someone different. Do you know why Rocky decided to make him the president? There's nothing wrong with making the president an antagonist. But we'll use real world figures sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of a little complicated to do that. You know what I mean? Just saying. Yeah, Lucy is not walking in. She's scolded by one of the buses goons and she has a tea. Marcus notices that the spell is gone. Aaron says not to worry. And somehow the part that contained the tea, I think it was tea, shows up. Again, showing up Britain still had some influence over America at that point in time. We don't know. Britain had reigned over America for like decades or century or something. I don't know. So eventually they rebelled in the late 18th century. On July 4th. On July 4th they actually gained independence. But still some influence remained over, but slowly phased out over time. But there's still some elements of the British occupation around like New England in Rhode Island, where Rhode Island is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sounds interesting. I mean, I just find it interesting that Rocky decided to do a British person for his best protagonist. When you had two British JoJo's, one of them wasn't even in England anymore. So I hope after JoJo, Rocky goes back to making a British protagonist. But how will he do it? I only create new protagonists. Because he had a follow-up from JoJo, but thing is, last time he written something set years later, that 20 times we written, some of it's ended up becoming inaccurate stuff, like with Stone Ocean being set in 2011 but written years earlier. So, yeah. How do you think Rocky's gonna do it? Especially since, how do you think Rocky's gonna do it? Is he gonna jump ahead a couple years? Or is he gonna go back a bit, around in between JoJo and Josuke? In between JoJo in a way. You know? Or someone set before Josuke, one of Johnny's many descendants. And saying, let me know in the comments how do you think the next part's gonna be. Like, of course we're years away from it, but you know what I mean, what do you think Rocky's gonna do for the next part? I mean, Lucy also knows someone on the top of the train car who isn't even wet. That's right, so someone on the train car who I think might be the user of the Stan Cash the Rainbow. It's the only one I can think of. I don't recognize any Stan user like that, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, we talked about Johnny and Giles. Giles was talking about octopus sinners, and I think I have a laugh about it. I'm tracking. Giles somehow disappears. Johnny's confused. Then the horse, and Johnny's horse disappears. Now Johnny doesn't know what's going on. And this is JoJo, the only one that carries on with a revolver. Oh, JoJo did use a gun once before. That was only briefly in the start of the part, just to demonstrate his Stan's power. So Johnny's the first JoJo to probably use. Okay, no, actually. The one who actually used the gun was Joseph in his battle against Straits, Straits. It's even used in the freaking All-Star Battle games. Anyway, Johnny uses the gun to find his neighbors in the sniper. No hit. He knows that of a stand, but how? And that ends the chapter. And how is he going out of this? Well, who knows? But this focus is that is mostly on Johnny's girl. It's called Tusk. So we'll see how this goes. So thank you guys for watching. If you want me content, please want to support one of the most channel. You can just find this one around. I'll see you guys here for the rest of this arc, and hopefully read the entire Scary Monsters arc in the next couple before going to bed. Super jump out.